This is questions 7 and 8 in exercise 6.1 in Project Maths 2. We have to solve the equation in each of these questions. So look at question 7 first. We've got 2x squared minus 11x plus 5 is equal to 0. In order to get this solved, we have to factorize the quadratic trinomial on the left hand side. We can't treat this like we would with a linear equation, which is an equation where we wouldn't have an x squared. The highest pair of x we'd have would just be x to the 1. Because in that case we would move the x's to one side of the equals and the numbers to the other. We can't do that this time. So we've got to factorize first. And the way that we factorize quadratic equations is, especially when we have a coefficient of x squared, we're going to turn into a factorising by grouping to make this easier on ourselves. So we multiply the coefficient of x, which is 2, by 5, and we get 10. And now we're going to list the factors of 10 that sum up to the coefficient of x in the middle, sum up to minus 11. So that's going to, the factors of 10 are 1 times 10, 2 times 5, or minus 1 times minus 10, and minus 2 times minus 5. So 1 times plus 10 would be 11, but we need minus 11. 2 plus 5 would be 7. Again, that's no use to us. Minus 1 minus 10 is minus 11. So that's the one we're going to use. So we're going to rewrite our equation. It's going to be 2x squared minus x minus 10x plus 5 is equal to 0. And now what we're going to do is we're going to factorize this left hand side by grouping them together. So the highest common factor from the first pair of numbers between 2x squared and x is x. So inside our bracket we're going to have 2x minus 1, like that. And now our highest common factor from the other two is going to be minus 5. So we take minus 5 out, and then inside the bracket we're going to have 2x minus 1, and that's still equal to 0. And now we've got the same bracket for both of these, so that's our common factor now. So we're going to have 2x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 5, like that. Now when we get to this situation here, this is where we can actually solve from and get a value for x out, because that's what solve means in this context, and find a value for x. When you've got two things being multiplied together as we have here, the first bracket multiplied by the second bracket, and the result is 0, that means that one or both of these things must be equal to 0. And for the sake of our solving, we're going to say that they both are. So we take each bracket and set them separately equal to 0. So we have 2x minus 1 equals 0, and we have x minus 5 equals 0. And from there we just have to solve a linear equation. So for our equation on the left here we have 2x equals 1, which means x is equal to 1/2. And on the right we're just going to have x is equal to 5. And those are our two values of x for this quadratic equation. So we're going to have a look at question 8 as well, just to see this done out again. Same process as before. We're going to go 2 times 3 gives us 6. Then we're going to list our factors of 6. We have 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. And we're looking for factors of 6 that will sum to 7. In this case we're going to take 1 and 6. So we're going to have 2x squared plus x plus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0. And you notice right in the middle here, x plus 6x is 7x. So I haven't actually changed the value of the equation, I've just rewritten it to make a sum in the middle instead of leaving 7x in there. Now we can do this by factorizing by grouping. So from our first pair, the highest common factor is x. So we're going to have x times 2x plus 1. And from our second, the highest common factor is going to be 3, so it's going to be plus 3 times 2x plus 1. That's equal to 0. And then we have a highest common factor within the brackets now. So we group that together, we get 2x plus 1 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. And same as last time, we're going to set each bracket separately equal to 0. So we get 2x plus 1 equals 0, and x plus 3 is equal to 0. In which case on the left we're going to get 2x equals minus 1, so x is equal to minus 1 half, and on the right we're going to get x equals minus 3. And those are our two values for x in question 8. And that is that.